Okay, man. Appreciate it.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Marburger Postgame Show. This is Lewis Carpenter back this week after being out last week because I couldn't talk, if you can believe that. And I've got with me
Dennis Davis
and
Tom Senafani.
There we go. And we're getting on a little late tonight because we had a tremendous game that you just heard on WOHS. Burns 38, Shelby 34, and the ball game ended on the Burns 3-yard line. Dennis?
Lewis, can you say slobber?
Oh,
knocker?
big time slobber knocker.
Well, that was an interesting chain of events there at the end. Shelby gets the ball to the 3-yard line.
Right.
The quarterback tries to run around for us. Hearing Brent was a little excited there, but what I got out of his quarterback slips.
Right.
They take their time getting up to the line. They get a penalty. Ball's backed up to the 12. Then they snap the next ball over his head, and he has to throw it away. So
Right.
I tell you what, the Burn, not taking anything away from the Burns defense because they're at the end, they play, but looks like Shelby just shot themselves in the foot there at the end.
Yeah, and that'll happen sometime with a ball game going back and forth like that.
We got a call.
Got a
Lewis.
caller. Who we got?
Hey, this is Ron Smith.
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
Pretty good, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I guess you're on that Burns sideline tonight. Why don't you tell us about it?
Ooh,
You just
to
said
say
it.
the least.
Well, Smitty,
It was a wild game.
Yeah,
but
Burn-
it lived up to what it was built up to be.
Burns got down very quickly, 14-0. Dennis and I were in the press box, and I'm leaning over to Dennis and said, Dennis, this thing looks like it's going to be over in a hurry because Shelby really came out there and smacked him right in the mouth, even after Burns got that early turnover. How was the mood on the Burns sideline, and what did they do to change that and get Mr. Moe back on their side?
I don't think anybody really panicked. I think they just kind of rallied around what Coach Beam was wanting to do and just dug in the trenches and went to work.
Why do you think there were so many turnovers in the game? It seemed like every time you turn around, the ball was on the ground.
I can answer that for you.
A lot of emotion. I think some of that was like, trying to make big plays happen.
Yeah, a lot of excitement and a lot of pressure in that game.
Well, Smitty, I know you won't like this comparison, but when you guys had Kings Mountain down 14-0, and Kings Mountain came back to you at halftime, make it 12-14, I saw the reverse of that tonight, because when Shelby had you down 14-0 and it looked like it was fixing to be 21-0, Burns dug in, came back, and you guys made a score there, and eventually I think that was the thing that turned. Had Shelby scored at that point, I'm not sure the Bulldogs wouldn't have been bested tonight. But, man, talk about fighting back. I'll give it to the Bulldogs.
Yep.
You pulled it out.
They sure did.
And I tell you, that's what's made our kids a really good football team this year. I think they're buying into the don't stop, don't quit attitude.
Yeah.
You play wide open for 4 quarters and get everything you got, and then at the end of the game, it is what it is. So.
Exactly.
And no disrespect for the Golden Lions, because, as you know, you were sweating bullets down there the last 10
listen,
seconds.
I got hats off to Coach Ware and his staff. They're well coached, and they have some really good athletes.
And they didn't quit either.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. I mean,
They
this
just kept
was a
on
Joe
playing,
Frazier,
too.
Muhammad Ali, Thriller Manila kind of battle. That's exactly what it was.
Hey, that's a good analogy.
Well,
it was.
I made the comment to Tommy early up in the press box. I said, Shelby's defense is better disciplined. And he looked over at me and said, yeah, they got 5 penalties so far.
Well, they look like, Smitty, it looked like we were both, Dennis and I were both commenting on that it looked like Burns was jumping off a lot outside. Shelby was offside a lot of false starts, and there was a general nervousness to both teams during the game, you can tell.
I agree 100%. Like I said, and, this game, to me, was probably the deciding title game.
I think that the Crest Chargers may have a little something to say about that. So let's not let's
But I'll be honest. I predict the Birds win over Crest, and I predict the Chevy win over Crest.
Well.
Well, them fighting words with Dennis.
And I don't jump on the Shelby bandwagon too often, but I will be pulling for them on November the 8th.
And after Crest beats both of you guys, call me back.
Well, see how it goes. Smitty, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling, bud.
And make sure that I know you're down there on the sideline. You see a lot of things firsthand. Please call us back and give us some of that good insight that you're able to give us.
Yes, sir. I'll be glad to do it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Smitty.
Tom, I think that's the first time we've heard from your old buddy this year.
Well,
He used to call in quite regularly.
He used to call in quite regularly as our only caller.
I don't know him. Who is he?
He's Ronald Smith. He's a he's a Burns graduate. He's been around the community a long time.
Okay.
He helps out with the fields. He
Right.
He used to be the only Burns guy we could get the calls.
Yeah, only Burns guy would get the calls when we we're back in the dungeon. But we got some more Burns guys calling. We need us a Steve Degree, Steve Roberts type loyalty
and
of
Coach
folks
from
coming in.
Bessemer City's been trying to get us, except we kept dragging on all night.
Yeah,
Here's
he
Coach
just
calls
texted
him.
me. I told him we'd be on in 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
he ought to call
We
back
might
in a
even hear
little
from
bit.
the Cherryville coach again tonight.
Yeah, I would be good.
Well, we may hear from the Community School of Davidson coach tonight as they upset the Dan Greer Fawns of Thomas Jefferson. Unofficially, as I have been told by my higher ups, that we think we have a Community School of Davidson victory over Thomas Jefferson.
Could it be?
Could it be? But Dennis, tell us a little bit about. We talked a lot about Burns and Shelby. That was really the game of the night.
Yeah.
And we're going to get some more phone calls on that. But Crest a big winner tonight, 41-7. We all expected that. What I didn't expect, I really thought Forest View would defeat South Point tonight.
Well,
I thought it'd be closer.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
want to call Calvin out, but Calvin predicted a Forest View win tonight. Sorry, Calvin, but evidently the defense down at South Point is real, and I've seen some of their players, and they have a legitimate, couple of linebackers, Lewis, that will ring your bell
in a heartbeat.
And their offense continued to take the ball and progress down the field.
I heard Terry and them talking on the pregame show this afternoon, and they were talking about South Point. Tyler Bray's got over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
The next runner's got 800 and some yards.
Yeah,
Another runner's got 700. So, that they just keep pounding. You just don't bet against South Point.
And there's something to be said for playing to your level of competition.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Bray, by the way, Shrine Bowl player, turned down the blue-gray national game, so he could go to the Shrine Bowl.
Right.
So hats off to
thank you for being local.
South Point.
Yeah.
But Tom, look, we got a number of close games tonight, and then we got a bunch of blowouts.
Yeah, we got Cherryville over my Highland Tech Fighting Rams.
Hey,
48
Fighting
to
Rams. Okay.
the Fighting Rams,
That's what
previously known by another name.
Did they
but
snap their one-game winning streak?
they had a
snapped their
tremendous
one-game
one-game winning streak, which is now over. But hats off to the Cherryville kids.
Yeah.
They took a tough loss last week to the Dan Greer Fawns of Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
So hats off to Cherryville, good win. Look at that East Lincoln over Newton Conover.
Read in the paper today that Newton Conover, because of injuries and suspensions, is down to 17 players on the varsity.
Well,
Don't you love it when you get a text message your mic isn't working?
Your mic isn't working, so nobody can hear Dennis, but he'll be back in just a second.
That's
But
because I'm sitting too close to Lewis.
That's what it is. Blame it on me.
That's a surprising score, but given the problems, Lewis, as you touched on, maybe not those. So, and Coach Sane of the West Lincoln Rebels has talked to my friend John and said that he might call in. I would love to hear from the Rebels. The chief there.
Tom, if you're out there, call us.
49-19.
Yes, sir.
West Lincoln's on a roll. And who they got next week, guys? They got a big game next week. Maiden next week.
Maybe that's why Terry Reinhardt was giving that rebel yell.
So he might be into a little rebel yell in the back room. But West Lincoln.
Rebel yell, wild turkey.
Got a caller.
I don't know what.
Who we got?
Michael. All right, Tom, take him away.
Michael, how you doing, buddy? Did you go to the game tonight?
Yes, I did.
Okay, tell us about what you saw.
Those first half was pretty. We didn't do too good at the first.
It looked like we were a little nervous coming out. We put the ball on the ground, made a lot of penalties. But what, in your opinion, changed the momentum in this game?
Yeah, it is. And then when we got in the second quarter, we got the lead, and we was
thinking about, we was saying, we was in, at under 1 minute and 11 seconds left on the clock. We was thinking we would win the game.
It was really back and forth there at the end. But tell us about Michael. Tell us what happened there at the very end. Burns takes the lead. Shelby goes down. What happens there at the very end? Tell us what you think happened and what did happen and why you think it happened.
Then we was thinking they was fixing to get our touchdown on us at the real close to, and then we got the ball back several times.
Well, it looked like Shelby really shot themselves in the foot there at the end when they had an excellent chance to win the ball game.
Well, Michael, you guys play drone next week, and I want you to call in next week and give us a play-by-play on that drone game. I'm going to predict a Bulldog victory, Michael.
Well, that's a bold prediction, Dennis.
Hey. I wouldn't do this for anybody.
I know
Michael.
you wouldn't.
All right. Michael, we appreciate you calling, man.
Michael, thank you.
See you, bud.
Okay.
All right. What we got here? We got anybody else, Steve? No
call.
I'll guess the best
No
one.
Steve Degree. No Bobby.
Well, Steve, let's keep.
Let's take a break.
before we go, just keep Steve Degree your thoughts and prayers. He showed me the staples in his belly. I can't believe
a new tattoo.
I can't believe he's that. Steve, you take it easy out there. We'll tell you about it when we come back because we're getting ready to pay some bills.
Be back shortly with the Marburger post-game show.
You're in our thoughts and prayers, Steve.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Enloe Mortuary is in its 90th year providing sympathetic, efficient services to the families of the Shelby area. Enloe's is committed to these families to make sure their arrangements are handled in the most professional, caring way. The folks at Enloe's believe the quality of their service, personal touch, and the little things they do add up to the family's satisfaction. Enloe's staff is available anytime to assist you in any way they can. Enloe Mortuary, 231 North Lafayette Street in Shelby.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions and sell parts as well. So if you're having trouble with your transmission, see the experts, Hal Hambrick, Lyle Reynolds, and Jimmy Stepp at Shelby Transmission Specialist, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North, Shelby. Call 704-482-8756.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
In the Southern Piedmont 1A Conference tonight, it was Cherryville defeating Highland Tech 48-0. Vesper City goes to 4-4 on the year and 2-0 in the conference with a 67-8 win over Pine Lake Prep. In the Southern District 7, it was East Lincoln going to 7-1, 4-0 in the conference with a 48-7 win over Newton Conover. Maiden stays perfect on the year, going to 8-0, 4-0 in the conference with a 21-19 hard-fought battle with Bandies. Lincoln then picks up win number 5 in the third, 3-1 in the conference as they defeat Bunker Hill 35-23. West Lincoln goes to 7-1 and 3-1 in the conference with a 49-19 win over West Caldwell. In the SMAC Conference, Burns stays perfect, going to 8-0, 5-0 in the conference with a 38-34 win over Shelby. Crest defeats East Burke 41-7. It was RS Central 56, Kings Mountain 20. East Rutherford 10, Drone 6, and Chase defeats North Gaston 14-13. In the Big South 2A, 3A, it was Hunter Huss 55, Lake Norman Charter 10. It was Ashbrook 49, East Gaston 0, and South Point goes to 9-0, 4-0 in the conference with a 49-34 win over Forest View. In the North Piedmont 3A, 4A, South Iredell defeated North Iredell 39-14. Mooresville defeated North Lincoln 43-7. Hal Capps picks up win number 199 in his career. Statesville defeats Alexander Central 24-21. In the Northwestern 3A, 4A, High Brighton goes to 8-0, 4-0 overall in the conference as they defeat Watauga 45-44. Hickory defeats St. Stephen's 47-0. It was Patton defeating Fred T. Ford 31-12, and Freedom over South Caldwell 30-6. And now back to the guys in the studio.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLON Lincoln, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to the Marburger Motors postgame show. This is Lewis Carpenter along with
Dennis Davis.
And
Tom Sanafani.
There you go. And we
got
just
me
been
with my mouthful, Lewis.
talking. Well,
imagine
that's all
that.
right.
Imagine that.
My mouth full too. Just the way
You
it
talk,
is.
I'll eat. Okay.
We got a call.
Hey.
Here we go. Who we got?
Hey, this is Coach Zane at West Lincoln High School.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, bud?
All right, Lewis, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'll tell you what. You guys are on a roll.
Well, played well tonight, played well again, and just proud of the way the players played and what the coaches did tonight, and put together a good win against a good West Caldwell team. I tell you, they were, we knew going into this game that they threw the ball a lot and had a great quarterback, and the defense was pretty tough. So offense did a big job tonight and going out and getting a win, and defense played well too. I was just proud of them.
Your line must have controlled the line of scrimmage pretty well.
Those big guys up front, they really do a good job for us blocking, and the coaches, get the game plan together for them. But
right.
They did a really good job tonight. Had Miguel Correll at quarterback. Miguel does a good job, but like I say, those linemen do a good job opening holes, and Miguel does a good job finding those, and had Mac George tonight. Mac George had moved into the fullback spot. Daniel Davila kind of turned his ankle a little bit, so had to switch Mac around a little bit, but that was, he played well too.
Is Davila going to be all right for next week?
Yeah, we'll get him evaluated, and our trainer, she does a great job. Tracy does a great job, and she'll take a look at him, and hopefully she can get him better for next week. And it's just kind of day to day, right now. We don't really know for sure, so we're just trying to keep him iced and just get as much treatment to that thing as we can right now.
Yeah.
Coach Sane, I see on your schedule, I'm looking here, you've got Bandy's, Maiden, and East Lincoln. I don't know if you know, but Maiden defeated Bandy's tonight 21-19 in a good ball game. So you're really making a playoff run. How do you think you stack up against those conference opponents, which you've got to face them going down the stretch?
Well, we play Maiden next week, and that's a big game. Maiden's undefeated. They do a good job over there. Their offensive they run a lot of plays offensively, and they're throwing the ball around. So, we'll defensively have to get prepared for that. And, and their defense, I'm sure that was a big rival game over there. That was a close score. So
it is.
If the score is a low score, close score, that was I'm sure a big defensive battle tonight too.
21-19.
Well, Coach, the next 3 weeks, Maiden, Bandy's, and East Lincoln are going to tell us how much the Rebels have made progress. If you can win those 3 games, hats off to you. You're in the playoffs, and you've got a real championship caliber team over there.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that East Lincoln, West Lincoln game coming up, last game of the season. So I know a lot of us here will be watching that one closely. We're real interested to see how you guys stack up.
Tell you, Tom, yeah, they've done a real good job, and of course you got 3 stout opponents coming up, but y'all have done well, and I think you're going to continue.
We thank you and appreciate that. But we'll go back to work on Monday and enjoy tonight's victory. And
absolutely,
like I say, it's not going to get any easier, so we'll have to be prepared.
Well, Coach, thank you for calling in.
Congratulations on your big win tonight.
And I believe we have another coach.
Thank you for calling in, Coach.
All right.
All right, we got who we got. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Gardner.
Hey.
Hey, it's Brian Nichols over at Bessemer City. How are you?
Brian, doing great. Boy, y'all had a big one tonight. I was over there for that one.
You was over here with us? It was a big win for our kids.
Yeah, I was watching that one.
Yeah,
Cedric went over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, Cedric went over 1,000 yards. All the kids played hard. After the game, we come in here and checked the internet and found out that Thomas Jefferson lost to Community School of Davidson.
They did.
Kind of sitting. We're sitting in first place after 2 weeks by ourselves.
There you go.
Yep. Well, that'll be good. Y'all got Thomas Jefferson next week. I tell you what, y'all didn't look bad tonight. That Cedric put on a show.
He did. He always runs the ball very hard. He does.
Well, Tyler Best looked good too. He got loose on some run.
He did. Tyler run the ball well. Jockey Adams run the ball well. I believe we had over 500 yards rushing.
Yeah, Jockey had about an 85-yard run, and I'm sitting there in the stands, and somebody says, "Are they going to catch him?" And I said, "No." Not going to catch Jockey when he gets loose.
No, sir. He runs the ball well, too.
He
when
can
he gets
fly.
out in the open, he can get going.
Coach, I just wanted to check. Did you guys say you had 500 yards rushing tonight?
That's when we checked our stats, we had over 500 yards rushing.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that's a pretty good half a season for some ball teams.
That's pretty good.
That's quite an impressive performance of.
Well, they do have some good running backs over at Bessemer City.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say they're probably going to sleep good tonight, Coach, if they ran the ball that much.
Yeah.
They are. They had a lot of fun today. It was a great game for us. Defense played hard. Offense played hard. Just getting things ready for, like I say, we got Thomas Jefferson at home next week.
Right.
It's going to be a big battle here at Bessemer City. We're hoping a lot of our fans will come out and support us.
Brian, we appreciate you calling, buddy. Thank you.
And they're lined up.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
We've got another caller, Lewis.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brian. All right, who we got?
Steve Three.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve, how you feeling, buddy?
Well, after the circumstances, I'm okay. I tell you what, that was a great ball game for people who know how hard kids work.
Yeah.
The effort that both teams displayed tonight is a testimony to both coaching staff.
The Lions have nothing to
went
hold
either way. Up a special team mishaps, high snap, fumble here, fumble there. Man, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. And Steve, where's that new tattoo you got on your tummy there?
Well, something that Dr. Smith put in there last Tuesday. As it were, I was in the hospital. I had a blockage.
Yeah.
And they went in and removed some of my intestines and took it for biopsy. Thank by God's grace it wasn't cancer.
Well, we think.
And then they, my appendix had a real big spot on it, so they took my appendix out too while they was in there. But
yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be in home in the bed, Steve?
Well, I'm in my driveway right now.
Yeah, but you didn't miss the ball game tonight, did you?
Steve is not going on injured reserve.
You talk about the dedication of the kids, Steve. Your dedication. Now, I was at the ball game Wednesday, the Shelby Middle School versus Crest Middle School, because my niece is out there. Now you guys won. Congratulations. But I'm going to tell you what, Steve. I looked down on the sideline. I said, "That's Steve Degree. Is he not at home in the bed?" But, I know you weren't doing a whole lot of coaching. I know you told me that you were taking it easy because you just had your surgery. But that's some dedication there to be there for those boys. I will say that for you.
Well, you got to do what you believe in. Most of those kids, a lot of them don't have a father figure or whatever, but I'm just there for them. That's what it's all about.
You're exactly right.
You know, all y'all, coach, this is what about. It ain't about me. It's about the kids.
Exactly.
Steve, how can the players quit when the coach is over on the sideline with staples in his belly?
There you go.
I just wish that everybody had that dedication. I'll tell you what, Steve, my hat's off to you. I know that your Shelby Golden Lions came up a little short tonight. You know, Steve, that sequence there at the end had to be tough on you guys. But you know what? In a pressure situation, 8,000 people screaming, you know, when mistakes are made, you definitely can't come down on the kids about that. That's just football, and that just happens. That
exactly.
Just
See, it's so good that we took the ball with a minute left even to get down there.
Well, that's right. You had a threat on them, and that's as good as you can do. You get back, try to get back in the ball game. That's pretty good.
Well, I got a prediction here, Steve. You and the Lions are going to get well next week against Drone.
Actually, we got a bye next week. So
that's right, bye next week.
I predict the bye. Well, you'll do okay in the bye.
Yeah, I tell you, it was about like a Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali heavyweight bout.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one had one punch left, and so to win the other one. But I tell you what, though, both teams, the Burns Bulldogs and the Shelby High School Golden Lions kids, hold your head. I'm telling you.
No, it was a great ball game.
Great football game.
Well,
I'm a diehard Shelby fan, and I hate to lose, but I tell you what, I was proud of those kids the way they kept coming back.
I'm going to tell you this, Steve. I'm sure glad we don't see that team again in the playoffs. I'll tell you that. I'm sure after that ball game, I said, I'm sure glad they're in the 2A.
You let a little 2A team push you guys around.
I'll tell you, they're not a little 2A team. No. I'll tell you what, Steve, thanks for calling. I think Steve Roberts is telling us we got another caller, but thank you for your dedication and always listening to the show and always supporting us.
Thank you, Steve.
Good night, Steve.
See you, bud. Who else we got? Hello?
Yes. Sketch Fox from Cherryville.
Oh, Coach, tell me, 48-0. Have you no mercy on the fighting pocket protectors over at Highland Tech tonight?
Well, after last week's little letdown after
get it while you can, Coach. We know how you feel.
We really wanted to get back to what we do good and run the football. And we
must have done a pretty good job at that tonight.
Defense. And I thought we played good defense last week at times, and but this week we want to play good defense, and we also got the opportunity to get a lot of kids in and play. So.
Right. Yeah, I was, we were pulling for you here down at the station. You guys, the local team, that was a tough loss against Thomas Jefferson, but you really got things back on track. I wanted to ask you real quick. I know earlier in the season it seemed like you had some injury problems and you had some guys out. Are you starting to get some of those guys back?
We are. We got a few that's a little banged up, but I mean they're playing. We're trying to manage them through the week in practice.
All right.
But as far as being out right now, I think we just have one that's out with a finger.
Now, your big kid's out for the year, isn't he?
Do what?
I said one of your big kids is out for the year, your tackle.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
He'll be back. He's already started in his rehab, and
good.
So he'll be back, next season. But he's pretty much done for this season.
He's a good-looking youngin'. I'll tell you what, 6'5" and about 300 pounds.
Just run behind him, right? Just
yes, sir.
Wherever he is, just run behind him.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure Thomas Jefferson could have handled him, Coach.
No. And
Coach, you got Pine Lake Prep next week. I just saw them against Bessemer City tonight.
And I just thought I'd throw in, Lewis, how many yards did Bessemer City run?
Bessemer City had over 500 yards rushing, Coach.
So you may want to run the ball on. Just a shot in the dark.
Hey, we're just being, Monday morning quarterbacks here, Coach.
Of
course, you run game this week.
Your running game, that's what you do anyway. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we kind of got away from it a little bit, and tonight we wanted to to bring out. We didn't have a whole lot of yardage tonight. Defense did a very good job, and punt return team did a good job, and so we didn't have very far to go to score. So we didn't have a ton of yardage tonight,
Right.
but we were efficient. We scored in all, but I think 2 drives. Actually, 1 drive, and that was the one right before the half, and the one, 2, and the one at the end of the game.
Right.
But you know, we were efficient. We managed the ball, you know, throughout the ball game. We didn't have any turnovers.
That's good.
We did have the one before the half. Penalties took us out of scoring position. We had it first and goal somewhere about the 28, and if nothing else, we get a field goal before the half. And
Right.
we had 3 penalties in a row, which took us out of the range to score before the half.
Right.
So
that always hurts.
Well, Coach, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to predict you're going to call us again next week after you.
I'm gonna predict that the rushing statistics will look pretty good next week.
Yes, sir.
Well, we had what we needed. I mean, after last week's fall apart there towards the end of the ball game, we had what needed to happen, and with the victory, I think, by Community School of Davidson tonight, which I think puts us back in the race.
Yeah,
So,
it does.
Very much so, Coach.
Yep.
Listen, we appreciate your calling.
Thank you,
tonight.
Coach.
We look forward to hearing
All
from you
right.
next week in another victory cigar, if you will.
Yes, sir.
And we have a victory here. I'm holding up. What's this, boys? This is the Community School of Davidson. Beat Dan Greer Fawns tonight.
Yeah.
Our hearts go out to those.
Coach
Thomas
Fox,
Jefferson
thank
fans.
you a lot. He's already off.
He's
All
already
right.
We got a
gone.
caller.
Oh, we got another call? All right, hello, who we got?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Great. Who we got?
Hey, this is Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Are you calling to talk about them Bulldogs, Keith?
Once again, the belt's still on my shoulder.
Hey,
Keith, give some
Keith.
credit to Keith. He has made a bold prediction about
Keith,
3 weeks ago. He
Keith,
said definitely.
Keith, you old Charger, you. I'm glad you called in. I just want to point out something to you, Keith. I'm looking here at the Charlotte Observer Sweet 16, and I want to congratulate the Burns Bulldogs, who are this week are ranked number 12, whereas your alma mater, the Crest Chargers, are ranked number 6 in the Sweet 16, Keith. Now, talk to me about your Bulldogs.
Burns grew up tonight.
Yeah, they did.
That was a good ball, hard-fought ball game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Good crowd. I ain't seen a game like that in a while.
I tell you what.
You know,
Didn't you
Montgomery grew
predict?
up.
Didn't you predict that Burns was going to run the table?
We taking Crest to Space Mountain.
Hey. You must be in fantasy land, Keith. Come on now. Come on,
It
man.
is what it is. The way I look at it.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you called this one right.
Burns and Shelby both scored too many points.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to have
Crest
to.
is one-dimensional right now. Let's get they go to Oz and find something. They're in trouble.
Keith, I'm going to have to go back and check your diploma. I think they may be missing a grade or two. We may have to recall you or something.
Now, I graduated in 87 from Crest.
I know.
We appreciate you calling. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, call us next week. We'll talk to you.
No, next week we got Drone. Who we got next week? I don't know.
We got
Drone next week. It's like,
Yeah, and Shelby's open, and y'all got Drone.
JVs will get to play some next week. Keith.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll put JVs in.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, late breaking news here.
Yes.
Folks, this is for Calvin. In the bottom of the 7th, it's LA nothing. The St. Louis Redbirds 9.
And Steve's giving us a sign for a break. He done looked in here and pointed at us and looked over them glasses and got mean. I think we better go sell something. We'll be back shortly with the Marburger Motors post-game show.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLO in Lincoln, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Thomas and Howard Cash and Carry in Shelby has new owners, and so a name change. The H.T. Hackney Shelby Discount Center is your wholesale warehouse with no membership dues. You'll find great savings while buying in bulk for events such as church socials, reunions, and family gatherings. Cookout needs such as charcoal, hot dogs, hamburgers, whiting, and flounder. Plus, you'll find low prices on tobacco products. Thomas and Howard is now the Shelby Discount Center, 1620 South DeKalb Street in Shelby, next to Ken and Mary's.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson at Family Dental Care in Shelby. No matter the age, kids, teenagers, and adults, Drs. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson will take care of your dental needs. They have over 50 years' experience serving the people of Cleveland County. Call 704-482-3281 for Family Dental Care at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. That's Doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson. Kids love them, and you will too.
The Big Three are ready for flu season. Come get your flu shots now at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville, Falston Pharmacy in Falston, and Allen Drug in Stanley. They're your hometown pharmacy with no appointment necessary. So hurry in now and get ready for flu season. Get your flu shots now at Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street, Cherryville, the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston, and Allen Drug Store on Main Street in Stanley, just below the Woodshed.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Drs. Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson at Family Dental Care in Shelby. No matter the age, kids, teenagers, and adults, Drs. Stroud, Wilson, and Thompson will take care of your dental needs. They have over 50 years' experience serving the people of Cleveland County. Call 704-482-3281 for Family Dental Care at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. That's Drs. Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson. Kids love them, and you will too.
Since 1919, yes, 1919, Griffin Drug Store in downtown Kings Mountain has been serving the people of the Kings Mountain area with the finest in prescription service. And be sure to come in and ask about the 10% senior citizen discount. And most prescription cards are honored at Griffin Drug Center, 129 West Mountain Street in downtown Kings Mountain. Since 1919. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 on Saturday. That's Griffin Drug Center in Kings Mountain.
And now, scores from around the area for October the 18th. In the Southern Piedmont 1A Conference, it was Community School of Davison defeating Thomas Jefferson 9 to 7. It was Cherryville defeating Highland Tech 48-0, and Bessemer City goes to 4-4, 2-0 in the conference, and lead to Southern Piedmont 1A after they defeat Pine Lake Prep 67-8. In the Southern District 7 Conference, it was East Lincoln defeating Newton Conover 48-7. It was Maiden over Bandy's 21-19. It was Lincoln defeating Bunker Hill 35-23. West Lincoln defeated West Caldwell 49-19. Miguel Corella had 12 carries, 244 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was 3 out of 4 passing for 90 yards. The last 2 games, West Lincoln has rushed for 992 yards. In the SMAC Conference, Burns defeats Shelby 38-34. It was Crest over East Burke 41-7. It was RS Central defeating Kings Mountain 56-20. It was East Rutherford defeating Drone 10-6. And Chase pulls out a big win over North Gaston 14-13. In the Big South 2A, 3A, it was South Point defeating Forest View 49-34. South Point leads this all-time series 16-1. Ashbrook defeated East Gaston 49-0. It was Hunter Huss over Lake Norman Charter 55-10. In the North Piedmont 3A, 4A, it was South Iredell over North Iredell 39-14. Coach Scott Miller for South Iredell is 45-5 in his career. Mooresville defeated North Lincoln 43-7. Hal Capps wins number 199 in his career. It was Statesville over Alexander Central 24-21. In the Northwestern 3A, 4A, it was High Brighton defeating Watauga 45-44. It was Hickory 47, St. Stephen's 0. Patton defeated Fred T. Ford 31-12, and Freedom over South Caldwell 30-6. And other games around the area, the number 1 4A team in the state defeated Vance 41-0. It was Rocky River defeating Butler 28-21. Rocky River goes to 8-1 on the year. Their only loss was in Game 1 to Richmond Senior. And now back to the guys in the studio.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Welcome back to the Marburger Motors postgame show. It's Lewis Carpenter along with
Dennis Davis
and Tom Sinafani.
And I just want to do a shout out here. We got a caller, but want to thank Newt's for the food tonight and remind everybody that they're open till midnight on football nights. So go over to Newt's and get you some of that good food.
And leave Sasha a tip, would you?
There you go. I got another caller. Who we got?
Jeff Miller went to the South Point Horseshoe game.
Go right ahead. Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, that's, South Point's got a very high-powered offense.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, they average like 40-something points a game, and
yes, sir.
Forrest, you did a good job hanging tough with them, but 2 interceptions, that killed them, and just they really had no answer for Tyler Bray and Jaquan Brooks, and when
most people don't,
yeah, most people don't. That's exactly right.
But but the mistake was when Forsyth did get a stop. I mean, you got to score. I mean, you can't spot a team like South Point a 14-0 lead.
No.
Did that red bone, that South Point run give Forest View a lot of problems, or was it a lot of quick strikes from South Point? How did they roll up 49 points?
Well, I mean, they just did it like play after play. I mean, it wasn't like one play first down, then another play touchdown, like that. But, Jaquan did have one big play that got South Point to the 1-yard line. It was like an 85-yard run, I think.
Right.
Then a few plays later, they punched it in, and like I was saying, I mean, you spot a team like South Point, a 14-point win. I mean,
it's like David Keever texted me a while ago, and David says you don't bet against South Point, and I agree with that. You just don't bet against them.
Well, the way Forest View was rolling up, I know I've been paying attention. I don't have the scores in front of me. It seemed like they've been rolling up 60 points.
Yes.
In several games, and that's why I thought really that Forest View could really score with South Point. They scored 34, which isn't bad.
No,
but it did surprise me a little bit that that South Point was really in control of this ball game from start to finish.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, one of the things I noticed too is the guys on the pregame show spent a lot of time talking about this particular game and this matchup, and it was sort of consensus that you guys had to get a lot of turnovers from South Point. I take it,
and they got none.
They got none. Well, that's sort of the lights out right there, because as you said, they methodically marched the ball down the field. Now, the other thing was, I thought you guys with your quick strike could go down the field and score with them. The only problem I saw with that was it was going to leave your defense on the field a lot of times if you hit quick and they took long sustained drives. So did your defense just tire out, or what was your take on that tonight?
Well, really hard to say. I mean, it goes back to what I said earlier that other than the first drive and then that last drive for South Point, which they punted. I mean, that was only twice that they've punted tonight, and defense, even when they were fresh, never really had the answer. I'm sure they got tired at the very end.
Right.
And, of course, the way Forsyth kept on coming back, I'm wondering if that may have tired out South Point's defense a little bit.
How did you find their pass defense tonight? Could you guys throw the ball on them? Because that's always been the question about South Point. Could they play pass defense? Because I know they're playing really, really tough on the run defense this year.
Well, they played. Well, there were times they played okay on pass defense, but there were other times, Forshee was able to burn them.
Yeah.
With the pass and. But, when you got an offense that can put up 49 points a game, I guess you can tend to give the other team a little bit of leeway, maybe. But
play soft, play a little cushion on that.
But honestly, and, this is kind of like, looking ahead, I could see these two teams facing again in the postseason.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very easily, yes, sir.
Because I think they're both going to be small 3A.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
well,
probably so.
If you're both small 3A, that might put Burns in your bracket. I know you played Burns in the past, but you haven't played Burns this year. So,
no.
That would be an interesting contest. Now, with the pod system out,
thank God,
you can get a little traveling.
Thank God.
So you don't have to play somebody like South Point in the first round yet.
Or second round.
Yeah, you might can go get them the third round or go on a little bit deeper before you run across that local bully there, if you will.
Well, getting rid of that pod system is a great thing. I don't know a coach. I hadn't heard a coach was favor that at all. I mean, they just didn't like that.
And as a fan of the game, I don't favor it.
No,
well, and it's like Jeff pointed out here. Here you play this team in a regular season. And sometimes, Lewis, what we were seeing was you played them in the last regular season game and turned around and played them in the first or second round.
And that's not right.
No.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate you call, bud. We got another caller here, and be sure and call us next week and tell us about those Jaguars.
Hey, will do, buddy. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thanks, you, sir, and you too. Got another caller.
Go ahead.
Hello?
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 Hey.
Hey.
It's Scott Flanagan.
Yay, Coach. How you doing? You got a big win tonight.
Yes, it was. We got out. We were totally outplayed in the first half. Big Bunker Hill team, and somehow at halftime we were leading 14-3. And the second half, it was one of them things where we just started matching touchdowns and scores with them, and caught a break and got a 2-touchdown lead over them at one time, and held on, and feel very fortunate to come out of Bunker Hill with a win.
Well, and say they outplayed you in the first half. You thought?
They pushed us all over the field and got down there close, and we blocked the field goal, and we dropped a punt in the 30, and it was. I still don't know how we were winning 14-3 at halftime, to be very honest with you.
Now, Coach, you said they were big boys, but now
right tackle. Let me tell you about the right tackle. He's a Flanagan. I wouldn't ask who he was, where he's from.
Maybe
he was a cuz. He was 6'7", 295.
And I thought Roseboro might hold his own, but it sounds like this boy was doing a pretty good job on him there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, they had some big kids and good-looking running backs and skilled people, and we really couldn't get inside on them. Basically we want to run the football, and like I said, we started throwing the football. Easter hit some big plays, and we scored. I think on a couple touchdown passes, and the Brunt kid probably made one of the most exciting touchdown runs I've seen since Goo Wyatt. At Lincoln High School. I mean, it was he was jumping and sliding. It looked like he was doing a moonwalk and everything, and went for about 70 yards. And it was. I want to see it on film. It was.
Who was this, Coach?
Brunt, the number 9 kid for us.
Yes.
Brunt.
Yeah, he played.
Big tall kid. He's about 6'1", 6'2". We just started playing him at tailback. He's been a receiver for us.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get the ball in his hands a little bit more, and he really, the touchdown that he ran, it kind of gave us a 2-touchdown separation, and that was a big play for us.
Well, when you look at that game film, Coach, maybe you can audition him for Dancing with the Wolves.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this one was. I'm gonna have to take a real good look at that play because he was.
I'll have to come by there and watch that. I need to see that.
Come on by Sunday after church, Lewis. We'll have it on.
All right, listen. One other thing. Who you got next week?
We have Newton Conover.
All right. And they're Scott, what happened to them? They're kind of down.
They've had a couple of players that I left the team. They had a couple of players that were suspended for an issue, and and I really picked them to be 1-2 in the conference.
Right.
I thought they had so much talent coming back, but when you deal with high school kids and things happen, things just didn't fall in place the way they wanted to, and they're struggling right now.
Yeah, they are. Well, Coach,
but,
you have a good time tomorrow at Tennessee and enjoy that football game.
We're at Black Mountain right now, getting us a room, and we'll have a good time. Carson's been singing Rocky Top all the way up to the road. We're in good shape.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Coach. All right, who we got? We got another caller?
Yes, Coach Beam.
Oh!
Get him. He's about to have a heart attack. Go ahead.
All right, Matt Beam, are you there?
What's up, Tom?
Hey, Matt.
Matt.
You know what? I said I'm leaving Matt Beam alone because I know that guy. He's got to be exhausted. He was hiding from me today, Lewis. I was looking for him trying to get some stats. And he was hiding from me because he's like, get away from me. It's a big game today. And I know how it is. It's a big pressure game. But, Matt, let me tell you what. It was a great ball game. So just I want to hear your perspective because I'm going to tell you, Coach, when it was 14-0, I was nervous. I was up there in the press box saying, oh, my gosh, what do we got? But go ahead. Tell us about it.
Well, it was kind of how I thought it would play out, and I told my kids for 2 weeks that's how it was going to play out. I knew the Shelby. Listen, first of all, let's say that my hat's off to Coach Ware and his program. Tremendous group. If there's a better 2A team in the state of North Carolina, I'd hate to see them. That group played awesome. They played hard. They played with passion the whole game. They never quit. I just hate somebody had to lose that game. I'm glad it wasn't us now. Don't get me wrong.
I understand.
But listen, I mean, I'm telling you what, those kids, I talked to, we didn't shake hands after the game, which I really didn't like because fans, and I understand our fans. They just mobbed us and went crazy. And I called a lot of them out in the parking lot and gave them love. And I'll tell you what, man, those kids, they're if you can pay $7 or how much it to get in, that is the greatest $7 you could ever spend.
Oh, I guarantee
your life.
Well, they let me and Tom in for free tonight, so we got our money's worth.
I'll tell you what, then y'all ought to make a donation to Shelby and Burns football programs or something.
We're going to do that, Matt.
I'll send a check with Tom. If you don't get it, see Tom.
I will say, Matt, there was it looked like there was some general nervousness on both sides of the ball. A lot of little knick-knack penalties and turnovers and things that typically we don't see, but it was a big ball game.
I think, coming off the bye week, you can't play quite as fast as Shelby plays. And so I think their speed just totally shocked us in the first quarter.
Yeah, they are fast.
Until we could get our feet to kind of fill out the game a little bit. But it did shock us a little bit, and Shelby come out there and scored, quick 14 points, and I'm so proud of my team. And I told them that it was going to happen. That let's go come out with a barrage. They're going to put some points up on you early, and you just got to withstand it, and you got to keep grinding. And we get down there, and we throw a kick right before half. I thought we could make it 20-14 before half, and so we go in there, we just talk, and I say, guys, slow down, and let's just take care of the ball. Don't make mistakes. And then we kind of just, we went back to our football. Sometimes I think maybe, because we know each other so well, we know Coach Emery was with us, and maybe we're trying to hide some things or do some things that we necessarily wouldn't do, that we just went back to running our stuff that we always run.
Right.
And that's when we really started clicking it off a little bit. And,
well, it's like Del Roy used to say, dance with who brung you.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Matt, what really concerned me earlier in that ball game, the quarterback's name for Shelby, Dennis, what's the kid's name?
R.J. George.
It seemed like we had a real hard time getting that kid on the ground. I mean, I was worried.
I didn't know how big R.J. was until I got the side of him in warm-up, and I understand why people are bouncing off of him. And listen, he played an absolutely fabulous game. I mean, he stood in the pocket and he threw it around, and I mean, he found the open receivers, and and we were trying to mix up coverages, and we were doing about everything we could do to maybe get him off of his launch points and get after him a little bit. But hats off to that kid. But I can understand how people are missing tackles on him because he's just such a big kid. He's physically big.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Matt, I think Steve's telling us we got us another caller, so we're going to wrap this up. But I know you're exhausted. Get you some sleep tonight. You guys did a great job hanging in that ball game. Want to give a shout out to your offensive line and those coaches. I went down there looking for you, and I run into Coach Pack, and they keep stats of pancake blocks at Burns. I love it. So those offensive.
They know every time they put somebody on their back, they get a sticker, and they love those stickers.
Oh, they do. They do.
I think Big Ben Kirby had 20 of them, and Ramsor had 25 of them. So.
It's just crazy. They just, but hey, I'll do whatever I have to do for them to go out there and block and give themselves up and get after it. And but like I told our team after the game, hey, tomorrow morning I'm getting ready for Drone. So
absolutely,
we just got to get ready. We can't let that be a trap game for us. That other game.
Okay. Coach, you keep statistics on pancake blocks. Lewis over here keeps statistics on just pancakes.
Pancakes, that's correct.
Lewis, I'm sure that you can put some pancakes down.
I have been known to hide one or two, yes.
I guarantee you.
Of course, man, your daddy's not bad at that either.
Yeah. Hey, let's don't talk about him.
Matt, thanks for supporting the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the call. Good luck. All right, got another caller? Or we're going to break? Got another caller?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
You on the caller.
Who we got?
Hello.
Yes, Coach Russ from West Lincoln.
All right.
Hey, Coach Russ, tell us a little bit about those West Lincoln Rebels and how they did that. We heard from Coach Sane.
Yeah, Coach Sane called a while ago. We appreciated that. Appreciate you calling, too.
He called in, and, keeping things close to the vest, which I don't blame high school coaches to do. But, see, we're radio guys, so we try to bring this out of you.
Yeah, we want to know all your secrets.
We want to know, coming down the stretch here, you guys have got Maiden, Bandy's, and East Lincoln. And the things that Dennis and Lewis were saying, you guys have got a real chance to make a statement here. I mean, you're on a roll, and you got the big boys in the conference coming up. It was a good game between Maiden and Bandy's tonight. Maiden comes at 21-19. Just tell us your thoughts on, what you think about facing these big boys right here at the end. Maiden, Bandy's, East Lincoln.
Well, I think it's, we view things all season long just perfecting us. Like I was called in a couple weeks ago, it's always our goal to perfect us. I mean, the last two ball games, we've accumulated 992 yards.
Yeah, I heard that.
In two ball games. I mean, when you do that kind of thing, we tell them next week, hey, let's see if we can, trump ourselves next week. When you put emphasis on teams, back in my days in high school, when you emphasize a team name, you kind of get, either get shook up or you try to play outside of yourself or
right.
you downplay certain people. So the way the coaches, we always have our meetings separate. See, Coach Sane's on the defensive staff and me being on the offensive side of the ball, it's two different types of prep weeks, but right. We all have the same common goal. Bandy's is going to throw it. East is going to throw it. Maiden's got to throw and run. You're going to have big name kids like Surratt. They're going to come in there. And if you focus on the big things and the billboard stuff, then you kind of look past the things that we need to perfect to win a ball game.
Exactly.
So your philosophy, Coach, is
that's what we preach.
You want to be the best team you can be and not worry about the other team so much as to who they are. You just want your boys to play the best they can.
Yes, sir. Because those three games that we have coming up, they're probably going to be one of the except for tonight and the Lincoln game, they're probably going to be the most high impact, big-time crowds, no matter if we're away or we're at home, because, we're getting a good following. The people of Vail and the western part of Lincoln County, when West Lincoln football starts rolling, the crowds come out and they expect to see things, so the crowd, is going to be in there. The teams, I know for a fact that East Lincoln and I think Maiden both come in unscathed. They both, have had some challenges, and they come in with, real good records. But when we do what we need to do and we take care of us, I always tell the guys when I talk to them and I bring them out to stretch, if we protect the ball and do what we do best, the outcome takes care of itself.
Absolutely.
And you let adversity, penalties, such things like that get in our way, it's like tonight. I told Miguel Carrello, our quarterback, the first half, he didn't have his standout staple play. And I told him, I said, man, hey, bud, we got to step it up. Show me a staple play. You're not doing you're playing to their defensive scheme. Come out and let's see if you can make a staple statement. With Davila going down, he had that ankle sprain. We're trying to, get him back healthy. So, and he looked at me and he said, all right. He said, I'll give you my best shot. And, he comes out that first, play and makes a great run, makes it look easy. And he looks on the headset, comes on the headset, and he said, Coach Russ, hope you're happy. And, those kind of things, as long as they want to prove me wrong,
absolutely,
and they want to perfect what we're doing,
absolutely,
we're going to keep taking a step forward.
Right. Well, Coach, we appreciate you calling, and best of luck to you next week.
I tell you what, you win these next 3, Coach, we'll have you come get on the camera, not just call us.
There you go. You can come talk to us.
Hey, I appreciate it. I thank you so much for everything you guys do and the coverage you give us.
Well, thank you. We enjoy doing it, and it's a lot of fun.
And I've always tried to give the West Lincoln Rebels. I got my friend John out there, Philip. I don't know if you know John Mostalchik, but he is the #1 West Lincoln Rebels fan. And one thing, you're kind of modest, buddy, but we're going to give you a little shout out here. 992 yards in the last 2 games.
Yes, sir.
That's a good season for a lot of guys, huh?
Yep.
and just alone in our quarterback, last week he rushed us for 209. We tell him to step it up. Tonight he comes out for 244 yards rushing. As long as we improve,
right.
Hey, these kids are amazing, and they never cease to amaze you. All you got to do is put a challenge in front of them, and they go out and try to take care of it for you.
Well,
Coach, thank you for calling, and call us next week and tell us about the maiden game.
Yes, sir, we will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
All right, we got another call.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. Greer.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
How are y'all?
Hey, is this the head coach of the Fighting Greer Fawns?
Sorry that your Greer Fawns went down tonight to the Community School of Davidson, Dan. But on to bigger and better things. What'd you think about what you saw at the Burns game tonight?
It was great. A great game. Coach Beam should be proud of his kids, and Coach Ware should be proud of his kids. It came down to the last play of the game. I mean, it really did.
Dan, tell us there about the end. Now, we were hearing on the radio, and it's just hard to, when we're listening to the guys, and everything was happening so quickly because Shelby was out of timeout, so it was boom, boom, boom.
Are you saying Brent Pasco was just a little excited?
Brent, I think his adrenaline was up. I think his adrenaline was up at 7 a.m. He was sending me text messages wanting the stats from Burns. I think it was probably helping Coach Ware with the game plan. But if you could tell us about what was going on right there at the end.
Well, I will say this. I will never, on the air like last Friday night, predict Shelby will lose. Because Lance Ware confronted me tonight and heard me. And Lance, your team played well. If you're listening, you should be proud. Should be proud.
Now you say
and
that.
now listen. I didn't want to have to go across the field tonight and sit on top of the restrooms over there. That's what I'm saying. Lance, don't do that to us.
Well, they wouldn't do that to Calvin,
But there at the end of the game, Shelby got down to the 2-yard line,
right?
And then a high snap. George slipped on a play, and that slip probably was what cost him right there. But they had that final play anyway, and the pass was incomplete.
Right.
You got to give credit to the Burns defense. They stood up when they had to at the end, and come up with a win. But Shelby should be proud. I can't wait to 2 weeks from tonight when the Bulldogs go to Creston play, and I won't be there, but I can't wait.
What do you mean you won't be there?
I will be there.
Oh,
but
you will be there.
The last game of the season when Creston Shelby play at Blanton Stadium, I won't be able to see that. That's what I'm saying.
Well, how are you going to...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, how are you going to call that game when Calvin's up in the press box with Andy and Tim and the rest of the boys, and you're over there on top of the concession stand on the visitor side?
Well, we done it there last year. Kevin and me did it last year on the first game of the year. Remember last year?
They don't give you boys enough credit over there, Dan. You come on up to the press box. We'd love to have you up there. And I tell you what,
it's going to be crowded. It's according to how the weather is. We may sit outside that night. But
I'm going to say something, Dan, and you did not pay me to say this.
Okay.
But you and Calvin do a great job.
You really do.
And I can understand what you guys are saying on the radio because you keep a calm approach to what's going on.
Yep.
And that's what we need to know and hear what it is about the games. You guys don't get too up or down. And,
Yep.
you know, I appreciate that, Dan.
Because we can
Compliments to
understand
both
what's
of you.
going on.
Yeah.
Dan,
well,
thank
listen,
you.
I appreciate that. Now, let me say this. The dentist, you didn't pay me to say this, okay?
Yeah.
Dennis.
Yes.
Don't compare teams where they're ranked in the Sweet 16.
I know.
As
It's
a
just
Charlotte
fun.
Observer. That is a joke. It's made. It's done to sell newspapers.
I
You
know
can't
that.
compare. They got 1A teams, 2A teams, 3A teams, 4A teams. You can't compare teams like that and put in a poll of 16.
Well, we're
Now,
going to have something to talk about, Dan, but the one
Dan-
that's even crazier than that is that WBT where the fan
Oh
vote
yeah,
on
that's
it.
even worse.
Oh, and
But,
they've got teams that you
Dennis, I appreciate what y'all are doing, Tom, Lewis, and you,
Well,
and
thank you, sir.
Steve, and Terry with all the scores. Y'all do a good job.
Appreciate it,
All right,
Dan.
we're going to have to
Appreciate
take a
it.
break here, Dan, and sell some stuff.
Well, I got another score for you.
Okay.
All right.
Tom, only score I want to know, who won the Greer Farms tonight? Who won that game?
I told you the Community School of Davidson defeated your Dan Grierfons of Thomas Jefferson. And
Hey,
don't
listen.
be so upset just because the Thomas Jefferson's not in the Sweet 16, Dan. Get over
and
it,
they
buddy.
lost
That's
9-7.
Hey, listen, they got a good program up there at Thomas Jefferson. Not kidding about that.
Yeah.
I wish them the best. Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
Hey, thank y'all.
All right, we got to take a little break. We'll be back shortly with the Marburger postgame show.
Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
It's the refrigerator of steel, stainless steel that is, from Hendrick Appliance in Shelby, Gastonia, and Lincoln. Come in now and see the new stainless steel kitchen appliances at Hendrick Appliance, including an over-the-range microwave oven, an electric range, a dishwasher, and a big 26 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator. And now save $500 with 12-month special financing that's now available. Visit your nearest Hendrick Appliance, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, 4027 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, and in the Carolina Shopping Center in Boger City. 100 years of anything means a lot. And at Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, you'll find over 100 years of combined motorcycle experience. So they must be doing something right. If you're in the market for a new bike, trike, or four-wheeler, or an ATV, see the folks that you can depend on for sales, service, and parts. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, with over 100 years of combined motorcycle experience. Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Baseball players rely on lots of coaches. First base, third base, pitching, and catching. But when it comes to insurance, you only need one coach, an Allstate agent. They'll help you with your insurance game plan. Plus, Allstate agents can bundle your coverage for your car, apartment, boat, motorcycle, and more. So you've got all your bases covered. Are you in good hands?
Your local Allstate agency is the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance Agency, 404 Cherryville Road, across from the YMCA in Shelby. Call 704-484-3463.
Now, in the Southern Piedmont 1A Conference, it was Community School of Davison defeating Thomas Jefferson 9-7. It was Cherryville over Highland Tech 48-0. It was Bessemer City moving into first place by themselves with a 67-8 win over Pine Lake Prep. In the Southern District 7, it was East Lincoln defeating Newton Conover 48-7. It was Maiden over Bandy's 21-19. It was Lincoln over Bunker Hill 35-23, and West Lincoln goes to 7-1, 3-1 in the conference with a 49-19 win over West Caldwell. In the SMAC conference, it was Burns defeating Shelby 38-34. It was Crest over East Burke 41-7. RS Central defeated Kings Mountain 56-20. East Rutherford over Drone 10-6, and Chase over North Gaston 14-13. In the Big South 2A, 3A, it was South Point 49, Forest View 34. Tyler Bray becomes the all-time leading rusher in Gaston County. It was Ashbrook defeating East Gaston 49-0. It was Hunter Huss over Lake Norman Charter 55-10. In the North Piedmont 3A, 4A, it was South Iredell defeating North Iredell 39-14. Mooresville defeated North Lincoln 43-7. Statesville over Alexander Central 24-21. In the Northwestern 3A, 4A, it was High Brighton over Watauga 45-44. Hickory over St. Stephen's 47-0. Patton defeats Fred T. Ford 31-12. Freedom over South Caldwell 30-6. In other games around the area, Mallard Creek, the number 1 4A team, defeats Vance 41-0. It was Rocky River over Butler 28-21. Asheville Irwin defeated T.C. Roberson tonight 49-14, and Asheville over McDowell 28-7. And now back to the guys in the studio.
Back to the Marburger postgame show. This is Lewis Carpenter, Dennis Davis, and Tom Centofanti. Steve says we got a caller, and then we're going to close this thing down here. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Joel from Kings Mountain.
Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, I just thought it was a hard-fought game, but it was just too much handle when you don't have a complete team.
Right.
Well, Joel, we know what the problem at Kings Mountain is. You know what the problem is at Kings Mountain. You got young kids, but you've also got a lot of injuries. You're playing people that probably would be standing on the sideline.
All right.
If it weren't for these injuries. Coach Lloyd over there is having a tough year. He's a very proud coach. I'm sure this is hurting him more than it is the fans. But you've got a great fan base over there that supports your players. And
we just like my friends, they all went to that South Point Forest View, and they told me, "Once you come to this game," I said, "Nope, I'm going to the Hilltoppers."
There you go.
And unfortunately, the Hilltoppers, topped the hill on you tonight. But Joel, like I said, I think what I see with the kids, the merchants and the other kids that are young freshmen that are getting this valuable playing time, you guys are going to be in a position in the next couple of years that it's going to be the shoe's going to be on the other foot.
Right.
Kings Mountain's going to be playing some quality football. You've got that new field house going down there. You're going to be working on a press box here shortly. You got a lot of things going over there physically with the team. And these kids are going to have a bright future at Kings Mountain to play football over there at John Gamble
Joel,
Stadium.
we're going to have to wrap this up. We got one more caller, and then we got to get off of here. So we'll talk to you next week.
All right, we got a case one. I'll give y'all a call next week.
Do it, bud. Thank you. All right, who we got? Got one more caller? Yeah, Kevin.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Hey.
What's up? Who am I talking to here?
This is Lewis.
Hey, Lewis. Let me get to a spot I can hear you guys. Good evening from downtown metropolis of Krausen. How about the St. Louis Cardinals?
Hey.
We're just going to mention that.
Yeah,
9-0, 19th National League pennant.
There you go.
Hey, did we just lose, Kevin? Did we?
We lost.
Wait, no, you're losing. You still there, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
See what happens when you're not here, Kevin?
Everything's gone to pieces. Kevin, well, you were at the Forest View South Point game tonight. You got any thoughts, anything that your analysis of that ball game?
I guess that said it all, didn't it?
Kevin, are you there?
Hey, guys, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Forest, can y'all hear me? Am I on here?
Yeah, you are.
We got you.
Okay, guys, Forest View actually did a good job, believe it or not, getting to the spot on defense. The problem was South Point players seem to be like Forest View was trying to tackle a greased pig out in the mud field.
That's a fact.
They couldn't touch him. It was the worst tackling probably you've ever seen from a 3A school tonight. I mean, it was just.
But those backs have a lot.
They probably broke 100 tackles tonight. It was insane.
Well, those backs though have a lot to do with that broken tackle. They can go.
Oh yeah, and the quarterback. His feet. I mean, he was everywhere tonight, Brooks. I mean, like I said, but the big thing was like
Forest View had the chances to win.
Yeah.
They were getting beat the whole time, but they just they couldn't tackle.
Right.
That's all you can say.
Well, yeah. Kevin, I
but
turned
there
to
was a couple
Tom.
of things I wanted to point out, you guys, that we found interesting in game night. Actually, there were 6 yards. It was 487, I think, to 483 total yards for both teams.
Woo.
So it tells you right there
Yeah.
as far as the offense goes.
Good football
I
game.
had turned to Tommy tonight in the Shelby Burns game, and you missed a great game there tonight, Kevin. But I turned to him at one point and I said, it still is all about blocking and tackling.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
blocking and tackling, doing those fundamental things. And it sounds like sometimes you can get so into schemes and various other things that you forget to teach your kids to do the basics.
Kevin, we're going to have to wrap it up here. Steve's getting on us.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, Steve.
Well-
I've been trying to call for like 45 minutes. But anyway,
Hey, we have been
2
loaded
quick
up
things.
tonight.
Forest View did not kick an onside kick with 4 minutes down, 14 points. I don't know why. Just gave South Point a chance to run the clock out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and by the way,
And-
Kevin, before you get going, I just wanted to say congratulations to the Cowboys. You had a big victory this past week.
Beat my Redskins.
And I know Lewis is taking it personally. over
I
here,
am,
but
yeah.
I wanted to give you a little kudo there.
There you go.
You're,
Hey guys, did anybody else have any bad officiating calls tonight? Anybody calling in tonight?
No.
Well, if you ask Jeff Jones, I think the whole Shelby game was pretty much miscalled.
We had some adventures, guys. On 3rd and 3, Forest View threw an incomplete pass, and it turned into 4th and 1. The referees moved the ball up 2 yards.
Well, I know Alan Ford was sitting next to me tonight, and he said they just gave them a 6-yard penalty.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then Forest View, they got called for offsides on the extra point, and they called the play dead. South Point kicker kicked it. It was good anyway. Well, they gave South Point the chance to say they just kept the extra point, but the play was called dead, so they just gave them a point.
Yeah. Well, these are high school officials, and
Yes.
sometimes I think their knowledge of the rules is a little confused, about the pros this and the pros college that, and they forget this is a high school game. And I'll be honest with you, I got fooled on a play earlier this year. Lewis and I were talking about it earlier that, you cannot, when you're in the shotgun, down the ball, spike the ball. You have to be under center.
Got to take it under center.
There are a few times when they are
Right.
But why would you do that anyway? Why would you spike it from the shotgun? Doesn't even make any sense.
Because you usually run
Yeah.
out of a shotgun.
Doesn't make it. I guess.
Hey, Tyler Bray broke the all-time Gaston County career record tonight. I don't know if y'all got to that earlier or
We
not.
didn't,
So
but
if
I
Terry
knew he
got
was
that or
close. He was 200 yards short last week going into the game, and I don't think he had but about 168, so he didn't get the record, but he surely got it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Phil's
Kevin,
sitting
we're
there.
going to have
y'all
to go.
Y'all get off. Y'all, good night. I'm gone.
All right.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts, Tom?
2 weeks from now, I think we're going to have
2
better
weeks?
ball. 2 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. Sound like a parakeet, I know.
There you go.
But we're going to have that's a Burns Crest matchup, correct?
There you go.
Dennis?
Really? Are they playing this year?
So that'll be, yeah,
Dennis?
you guys can't hide from us.
Final word?
Well, the final word is word.
Thank you. Friends, we've enjoyed it. We've had a great time. Had a lot of coaches call in tonight. It's a good situation. We thank you. We'll be back here next week with the Marburger postgame show. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Good night.
Your team plays here.